Hello everyone's. I am here for Real Housewives of Potomac Season 4, Episode 5. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, you're a family member, one of my peoples, welcome back. We had this scene where Giselle and, what's her name? Karen, Giselle still mad at Karen because she was, up front and be able to tell a complete stranger her business and didn't want to tell Giselle. Karen, she storms off. They make up. Now we moving over to Candace. Like, she doesn't know if she want to have kids because, one, she don't like other people's kids. And what does it trickle down is I don't like kids in general. And two, her relationship with her mama. Now, y'all know that her mama is a lot. She's very judgmental and she just be talking to Candace any old type of way. And I don't know if it's like, I don't want putting my kids through what I went through. I don't know if I'm going to turn into my mama or a combination of both those things. So, she's kind of nervous. Like, do I want to have kids? Me, I want to have kids. I love kids, But I can tell sometimes when I'm like around kids and the way they act, and I was like, Like one time I was at Target and this little boy was whining and fussing and fighting for no reason, and I just looked at him as I walked on by, and I don't know if he felt ashamed or what, but like as I continued to stare at him, he shut it on up. I was like, you're not gonna be out in the public just acting on any kind of way, embarrassing your mama. I would prefer a child, which you can't really pick and choose what kind of child you get, but like one thing is that I did not do when I was little was cut up in the store, because when I was little, my mama, she would have been able to take me to the restroom and pop me real good, and we went about back about our day. You can't do that now. You pop your child once, CPS come falling from the sky and arresting you and all this other stuff. Somebody wouldn't call the police on you because you didn't pop your child. Well, like my child was being disobedient. Like, I was getting chased with a switch at age 22 years old. My grandma didn't play neither. But anyway, back to her not wanting kids. Like, it's a lot. Her mama issues, her not liking other people's kids. So she's kind of questioning whether she want to have kids or not. We had a quick scene with Karen still wearing that, what I'm going to call, what I asked for versus what I got wig. I'm like, first of all, you going to bed and you got a little turban on. Why do you still have this wig on, ma'am? No, do like everybody else does. I mean, I don't have a wig, but when I go to bed at night, I put on a scarf and a bonnet. Why do you not have a scarf and or bonnet? Why are you sleeping in that what I asked for versus what I got wig? Why do you have it on this whole entire trip? Why is Ray pumping you up with this wig on? So many questions that I had about this wig. So many questions. Like, how did your hairstylist convince you that that was the way to go? Because it looked a hot mess. Now, I realized that, these YouTube tutorials about hair will have you feeling like you can do it. I've been caught up in that myself, but I would have known not to. It was like you was trying to go for some lemonade braids, but in the back, you didn't have enough hair. You didn't have a design plan in the back. I get that because I be doing my own hair. And it can be difficult trying to get the back of your hair. But it seemed like you had somebody make this wig, or you watched one or two YouTube tutorials about how to braid a wig and you thought you had it down packed, but you didn't. But you steady rocking that hairstyle. It's like, it was a no, ma'am. I was not a fan of the what I asked for versus what I got wig that Karen was wearing. Where am I at? Okay, they're going to a slave plantation where some of Giselle's ancestors lived and worked. And Robin's discussing how she got her Ancestry Test, and it turns out she's 59% European. Like a few seasons ago, she was saying, she was full black, all black, nothing but black. But when she got her genealogy test, it was because she was 59% European. It wasn't like she was lying because I want to be a black girl and all this, that, and the third. It was just that, her European ancestors were the slave masters. They raped the slave women, got them pregnant, and they continued to have kids and kids and kids, and then Robin popped out. As opposed to Ashley, her words, not mine. Ashley's mama's black and her daddy's white. That's how she got her European in her. But she wanted to let her know it was because, my ancestors were raped and had children that were mulatto. That's how I got my ancestor, the European, blood in me. But y'all, I would like to take an ancestry test, but I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical only because watching last season of American Horror Story, I'm like, what if it was some goodness in my blood, and then some mess pop off, and they come showing up my door like, we taking you whether you want to go or not. I know the probability of that happening is slim, but in my mind, I'm like, do I really want to know? Like going through that whole route. I know they have another type of one where they can show you, like, as far as black people, we can find out which African tribe we are from. But I'm still like, I don't know if I want to know, but I don't want to know, because I would love to do like that show, Who Do You Think You Are? I know this ain't got nothing to do with the show. I love that show, Who Do You Think You Are? Because you get to trace your ancestors. Like, okay, my great grandma, she lived here, so wherever great grandma was born at, we can find out where she was and like where her mom and daddy were and all things. But I know a lot of black people, we don't really have like anything full into slavery, because when they were bought and sold in that. But I would like to go and find out like where each of my ancestors were. I think the farthest back I can go is my great grandma, and she lived in Mississippi, which is sad. But the ladies, they go to a slave museum and they learn about Giselle's lineage, and we can trace hers back 5 generations. Just think about that. It's Giselle's daddy, Giselle's daddy's grandma, the grandma's daddy, and then the dude that they were looking at. Like, we can go back just 5 generations. One of my grandmas, she can probably go back 3 generations, because she like 92 years old. Still walking and talking, doing all that good stuff. But anyways, they learned of everything that like all the slaves went through. They were treated basically like furniture. You were basically like a cow or a couch. I bought you, I'm gonna treat you in your type of way. The mechanism they put on them so they wouldn't run, putting them in boxes and stuff like that. And they didn't treat you any better because you were a woman and you was pregnant. They just dig a hole and lay your belly in there and just whip you in your back. Like, horrible treatment. Like, very, like, just low down. Like, I hate talking about this, because I watched some movie one time where this woman married, like, I guess she was from overseas, and she married a slave owner. But I don't know if she knew that he was a slave owner until she came over to the States. And, like, she was looking at all the horrible and ways that the slaves were living. Like, I do not condone slavery, but if you are going to have them and that is the law, at least make sure the infirmary that they have is clean and not filthy, so they're not getting infections. How about doing some things like that? But like I said, they didn't care. Like, kids were bred to be slaves, ripped from their mamas, all kind of horrible mess. And they got to see what it was like on the plantations and all the horrible things that the people went to. Giselle's daddy, he was there with another doctor, to explain everything that, what went on there. And if I ever go to New Orleans, I think I would like to go to like a museum like that. The only closest thing I've ever did was I went to the Buffalo Soldiers Museum in Houston, and I got to see like all of like the old scuba masks that they use, like the old telephones, like washboards, a butter churner, like very old stuff. But like, I'm intrigued by like history and stuff like that. So after they do that, they go out to, have a good time, and I'm supposed to let y'all know. I guess it's my job. Don't let Michael know that Ash was out here doing shots. She told him that she would not do shots while she was on this little vacation, and she did them anyway. So don't tell Michael. Shh, keep it to yourselves. Okay. After they done got drunk good. First of all, Karen, she didn't go because, she was still feeling sad and depressed and grieving about her father while being upstairs in her room on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, something live, talking to people she don't know, as opposed to being downstairs with her homegirls. Anyways, they get back to the room, and Candace questions whether Ashley wants to get pregnant with the way she drinks. Like, if you wanted to get pregnant, you wouldn't be drinking as much. My whole thing is, there's women that get pregnant by drinking, smoking, and doing drugs. You need to stop I would refer you not drink or smoke. I would refer you not doing drugs and smoke because, you know, it's bad for you. Like, drugs is bad, smoking is bad for you. But if you have a drink every once in a while, that's not going to stop you from getting pregnant. My whole thing is, don't say and tell us that I'm cutting back my drinking because I want to get pregnant, but at the same time, have a drink in your hand. You're telling us that you're doing this so you can get pregnant. I'm stopping drinking because I'm trying to get pregnant. But every time we see you, you have a drink in your hand. But Candace's thing is, like, if she wanted to get pregnant, she wouldn't be out here drinking or doing any of that stuff. That's her thing. They think she's being a little bit judgmental, but, like, she's seeing how Ashley's been rolling this whole entire time. You always got a drink in your hand. And she goes on to talk about something. You think you can do a dig at me? A woman who's had a miscarriage? And I'm like, hold up, Ashley. Because do you not remember how you treated Monique last season? You was up there, made everybody look at Monique like she had an alcohol problem. Like, you know, she did have like a few martinis that night. And next thing you know, she, you know, drove her car and they got into a wreck. You know, she been drinking a lot. So now, look like now every time we see her and she got a drink in her hand, I'm like, well, man, dang, maybe she do have a drinking problem. But we're seeing, you know, 11 episodes where she's drinking over the course of several months. And on top of that, she was not pregnant at the time and wasn't trying to get pregnant. She was a mother of 2 at the time. And it's like, I have a stressful job, her words, not mine, being a stay-at-home mom. And if I'm out on vacation, I'm going to have myself a drink. But, like, remember how you was treating her last season? But Candace was like, you know what? I'm just going to shut up right now because I can just blow up your whole spot with the little information I got. Now, see, this is where me and, you know, Candace, we on the same page. I am a sweetheart, y'all. But I have a bit of an anger issue at times. Now, if you keep on talking to me crazy and I know some information on you, I'm going to want to tell you about it. And it's going to hurt your feelings. I try not to, but that's just a little bit of me like, okay, keep on. I'm trying not to, you know, ruin your whole entire relationship with what I know. But if you keep on poking me, I'm going to hurt your feelings. So, that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It is free all day, every day, free 99. If you're returning, you're a family member, you're one of my peoples, welcome back. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples. Now, this is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.